Hey everybody, welcome to week 8 of the Love for the Game Fantasy League. The excitement is palpable as teams square off in their quest for gridiron glory. With injuries lurking and rivalries heating up, strategies will be put to the ultimate test this week. From Bird Abides taking on CDTDs, who can snag that elusive victory? Or to Brock Hard taking to trying to break free against Game Over for You, will they finally claim a win? And don't sleep on Caleb Williams fan who looks to maintain dominance over injury prone. Week 8 is here, friends. Get your lineups ready, grab your snacks, and may the best fantasy squad reign supreme. Let's hit those end zones and score some points. In a thrilling clash, Ivan Tootin edged out Take Me Mahomes, scoring 127.94 points to 100.87 points. Despite Mahomes' stellar performance at QB with 31.24 points, his teammates faltered. Most notably, the wide receivers combining for just 10 points, and bench players like Malik Washington helping only from the sidelines with the impressive 8 points left unutilized. On the flip side, Keenan Allen shone brightly for Everton, rack up a massive 29.9 points among their top scorers, while positional advantages proved pivotal, earning them a solid win despite Baker Mayfield's lackluster showing at QB. This matchup marks Ivan Tootin's first victory against Take Me Mahomes in their all-time rivalry. In a spectacular show, Brock Hart crushed the Jokers on You with a dazzling score of 159.43 to 108.92. Clearly, having the top quarterback in Justin Herbert with 34.9 points pays off, but who knew that? Meanwhile, Jamar Chase might have been busy trying to find himself while scoring an impressive 39.10 points for the other side. But it really wasn't enough against Brock's potent lineup that ranked high across almost all positions except tight end and kicker. What a shocker. The Njoku's luck ran out as their running backs scored less than my grandma's bingo night results. So there you have it. Brock Hart continues its reign at second place, while the Njoku's wallops in the depth of despair at 10. Someone send help, or yet, better yet, someone send some decent players. In a rather lopsided showdown, Game Over for You triumphed over Goff's team, 140.92 to 103.58, leaving some to question the latter lineup's decisions. With Goff ranking 12th in coach performance this week and only showcasing only one player, which was Jahmyr Gibbs, who truly delivered 37.8 points, they significantly underperformed overall. Their bench could have salvaged some dignity, yielding a whopping 69.18 points if optimally utilized. Game Over for You's dominant showing was marked by Aaron Rodgers' stellar performance at 32.56 points and solid contributions from the running backs, clinching them a respectable fourth place in scoring this week, as luck favored them as well, which was third. As tensions rise in the standings with Game Over for You now at 4-3 and Goff sitting at 3-4, the future seems precarious for both teams ahead of Week 9 deliveries. In a thrilling showdown, Red Pandas faced off against Gritty Fly, emerging victorious with the score of 122.35 to 114.36. Rasheed Rice electrified the field as a standout wide receiver, racking up an impressive 23.20 points and contribution significantly to his team's success. Trey McBride dominated tight end play with a whopping 29.4 points, sealing the deal. On the other side, Jackson Smith-Njigba shone brightly with his own stellar performance at wide receiver, but was overshadowed by underwhelming contributions from key running backs like Alshon Jeffrey or JCM, in other words, Bill. Red Panthers showcased their strategic prowess in the top ranks, which was first for tight ends and third in the flex, while Gritty struggled despite their defense shining at first place overall. A close match indeed, and the victory was sweet. Oh, this was a crazy matchup this week. An electrifying matchup, but unfortunately, it was one sided, as Caleb Williams fan dominated Birds of Bides with a staggering score of 165.8 or 08 to just 96.71. With this win, Caleb Williams fan not only secured top spot for points scored for the week, but also pushed their season record to a respectable 4-3. Key performances came from Devontae Adams and Quinshon Jenkins, who lit up the field with stellar plays, contributing to their team's success. Meanwhile, Berta Bides struggled as George Kittle went silent at the tight end and failed to capitalize on bench strength that could have turned the tide. As this rivalry continues, Caleb Williams fan takes the lead in their all-time head-to-head matchups. Now, 3 wins, 3 losses, yes, but points scored favors him. But it's clear that Berta Bides must regroup if they want a shot at playoff glory in this competitive league. High stakes showdown, injury prone, toppled CDTDs with an impressive score of 162 to 125.85. Despite solid performances from stars like CD Lamb, okay, with 23, and T. Higgins with 21.6, CDTD's luck ran thin as they failed to capitalize on optimal bench options, particularly Bo Nix's standout 41.96 points. On the flip side, injury prone showcased their dominance, with Christian McCaffrey lining up the scoreboard with 40.1 fantasy points. While Dak Prescott struggled at quarterback, I mean, if you say struggled at quarterback, even though he scored 28.26 fantasy points, okay, it was a really good performance. Um, Injury prone remains undefeated 7-0, while CDTDs continue to search for their first win of the season after falling to an unfortunate record of 0-7 in what has been a challenging campaign so far. Okay, now it's a segment I'd like to call This Week in Love for the Game History. So this week in Love for the Game History, we had two of them, but these two records both happened in the same game. Okay, and as you can see on the screen in front of you, okay, Minnesota, the Minnesota team on the left took on the Belgians on the right. We saw a record for a matchup points below average, which you could see it's actually 119.05, which is 66%. Okay, he scored 66% less than that, which is a record, and it's by far the biggest record. And the Belgians blew them out by 138.20 points. And this happened in week 8 of the 2020 season. So, wow. So, this has been This Week in Love for the Game History. Okay, let's look for the game of the week this week, and then we'll go right into the week 8 preview. Week 8 in Love for the Game League, all eyes should be on the thrilling clash between the Caleb Williams fan team and the undefeated juggernaut and injury prone. This matchup features a powerhouse with a perfect 7-0 record going against Caleb Williams fan, who, yes, they boast an impressive 4-3 mark, having but in their matchups against each other, they have faced 4 times, and Caleb Williams fan has won all 4 of them. So his strategic depth and previous dominance makes this an enticing showdown. So they have scored 872 points, 79 points this season, and they have proven capable of explosive performances. But on the other side, conversely, injury prone has been a defensive team fortress, just allowing over 713 points to opponents while boasting a staggering total of 1,016 points, 0.57 points, basically. Now that begs the question: will Caleb extend his streak, or will injury prone remain unbeaten? Oh, we're going to expect some fireworks this week as these two titans battle for supremacy in what promises to be the game of the week. Okay, let's go on to the preview here. First match of this week, we got the 2-5 Berta Bides team taking on the 0-7 CDT's team. In their previous matchup, Berta Bides did win 100.20 to 98.45 in a close record here. It's also been close when it comes to the all-time series, where Berta Bides leads that series 2 wins to 1 loss. So the next question is they're both coming off a big losing streak. Okay, Berta Bites got a losing 4 in a row. CDTDs has lost 7 in a row. So something's got to give here. But if I had to pick a winner for this week to break their streak, I'm going to pick CDTDs. I think they get their first win this week. And once they get the first win this week, they're going to turn it around this season. So give me CDTDs this week. Next, we got Brock Hart sitting at 5-2 on a 2-game win streak, taking on Game Over for You at 4-3 at a 1-game win streak. These guys have faced once, which was last year, where Game Over for You was a dominant team last year and defeated Brock Hart 122.76 points to 88.59 points. But these two this season can score in bunches. Can score in bunches when they want to. But when they score, they score. So picking this matchup is really hard. But I think I'm going to give it to Game Over for You barely this week. I think we're going to see some amazing play from both teams. But I think Game Over for You gets it done. Next, we have the Take Me Mahomes team at 5-2 with the coming off a loss against the Red Pandas at 3-4 on a 2-game win streak. Okay, this is the first year for both teams and the first battle ever for both teams. Okay, Take Me Mahomes has had a stellar season for a rookie, which rookies tend to do well in my league. And then Red Pandas, after picking up for somebody during the season, the records don't show it, but he's been 3-1. Okay, the past 4 weeks, and on a 2-game win streak. So don't count out this team either. But again, tough matchup. If I had to pick uh, for this week, give me the Red Pandas. I think they've been making changes. They've been doing stuff well. They figured it out, going on the right track. Mahomes, yes, they have lost, but have lost some players at the same time. So give me the Red Pandas for this week. Next, we have the Goffs team at 3-4 with lose like a 1-game losing streak, taking on the Jokers on You at 2-5 on a 2-game losing streak. Both teams have struggled this year. A lot of injuries. A lot of injuries on the Joker for You. A lot of injuries for Goff's team as well. And some of the good players that we've all seen perform very well are performing as best as they should be. Okay. And these two teams, but if you look at last year's thing, these two teams were tops. Okay. Goff's team dominated last year. I think finished the record with the highest wins last year as well. A Joker for You, all right, had a winning season and went to the finals, the championship game last year. So what a difference one season can make. But their matchups have been close. Okay, Goff's team holds the 3-2 record against Njoku's team, when Njoku's had a 2-game losing streak against Goff's team. Last year, the last matchup they had was high scoring a little bit with 142.70 to 119.15. If I had to pick a winner for this week, I will think I'm going with Goff's team. It is close, but I think the injuries are too much for Njoku's to handle. He just lost Mike Evans too for the season. But, but, for those that haven't followed much on this league, let me give you a little fact about the Njoku's on You team. Waiver wires. It's I know I have like this draft like value thing and waiver wire value thing that I have on my league here. And I don't know the numbers. I will say that I don't know the numbers, but what I do know is he leads. Njoku's on you leads by a wide margin. So he plays the waiver wires pretty good. So why this matchup here is going to be my almost upset. I think Goff wins, but I wouldn't be surprised if the Njoku's can pull out the upset or at least keep it close here. So give me Goff's team. Next, we have the Caleb Williams fan at 4-3 on a 1-game win streak versus injury prone sitting at 7-0 on a 7-game win streak. This is going to be a high-powered matchup, as we saw in the game of the week. Fireworks are going to fly. Somebody's streak is going to be broken this week. Is it injury prones, who's 7-0? Is it Caleb Williams fan, who holds the all-time record at 4-0 against injury prone? And in their last matchup, both teams didn't do very well, but still posted a 104.85 to an 83.05 win for Caleb Williams. If I had to pick a winner for this week, I think it's going to be high scoring, but undefeated seasons, and the seasons don't usually last forever. But people, when it comes to head-to-head matchups, those records last longer than undefeated seasons. So give me Caleb Williams fan this week to win this week and continue their streak against injury prone. And lastly, we got Gritty Fly for a Vike guy at 3-4 on a 2-game losing streak, taking on Ivan Tootin at 4-3 on a 2-game win streak. Okay. This matchup has been close over the years. Now, Ivan Tootin has a 3-2 record. Yes, they've won the last 2. But scoring wise, Ivan Tootin could score when he wants to. And he could score in bunches. He could score big. Like, I've seen his seasons where he's finished 500, but still posts a stellar scoring team. He almost broke the record last year, okay, for scoring. But this is going to be a tough matchup. But if I had to pick, he won the last matchup. I forgot to mention, he won the last matchup, 127.70 to 104.90. But if I had to pick a winner for this week, I'm still going with Ivan Tootin. I still think he's going to score a ton of points this week. So give me Ivan Tootin. Lastly, we got our power rankings for this week. Injury prone at 7-0 still sits at the top of the rankings, followed by 4-3, game over for you. Brock Hard moves into third place, okay, sitting at 5-2. And Gritty Fly drops one spot here. Caleb Williams fan 4-3 moves up a spot. Ivan Tootin moves up to the 6th spot here. Highest jumper this week, 2 spots. Njoku's on you drops to 7, dropping 2 spots as our lowest drop. Mahomes drops 1 more spot here at 8. Goff's team still stays at 9. CD's team still stays at 10. Okay, Goff's team is 3-4. CD's 0-7. Pana's team is bumping up here to number 11, sitting at 3-4. And then Berta Buys drops down to 12th place, sitting at 2-5. Well, that is all I had for this video today. If you made it through to the end of the video, I greatly appreciate it. You can leave a like, you can subscribe, leave a comment. If you want to see stuff for this channel to move forward, if you want to see something that you want to like, throw it down there in the comments. With that being said, I'm going to get out of here. Commissioner Tim. And to everybody, including my guys, good luck, and may the odds ever be in your favor.